When you pawn your wedding ring and your head is up your ass. Now you're listening to the Broke Even Podcast.
Johnny, welcome back. It's season 2, Broke Even Podcast. It's football season, Johnny.
I'm pumped up.
How are we feeling?
I mean, it's Christmas for me.
This is it.
I'm jacked up. I'm super excited. Wait for this all year. Here it is.
And here's the deal, folks. We're in a brand new studio here at Lincoln Lodge Studios here in Chicago.
Lovely.
We're ready to go. John brought his Pitt Panther helmet right center of their table.
Signed by Johnny Majors of the Tennessee Volunteers and Pitt Panthers.
Wow.
Coach.
How did you get that signature?
My dad went to college there. It's faded on the right and left.
Sarcasm.
Baby.
I have no idea who that is at all. Couldn't even guess.
Oh,
but boy, it looks beautiful.
Oh man.
I think at the end of the season we sign the helmet.
Yes, we do.
That seems good. Hey, John, how was your summer? Let's get the boring stuff out of the way.
I mean, I lost my shirt betting on NBA playoffs. I was a big Nets guy before the playoffs started. I had them winning the East. Had a huge parlay where they were supposed to win their first series because the Celtics, they got swept.
That was a tough bet, John.
Tough bet.
So that was your summer.
That was my summer.
You lost gambling.
I lost. I continued to lose.
I mean, I like that that's what summer. I mean, we shouldn't win. So it's kind of nice to good. But for those of you who've never listened to the Broke Even podcast, John and I, we talk football and we talk gambling. We talk college football. We talk NFL. Week 1, we're just going to talk college football because that's all we got right now. Next week, we'll bring in some NFL stuff. This is the best time of the year.
I'm so excited, dude.
I'm actually sad for when week 1's over because then I don't get to look forward to as much football as I've been looking forward to right now. Yeah. Does that make sense?
There's 83 games on Saturday. So we're recording this pod after week 0. Nebraska has already fumbled the bag. The college football season officially starts when Nebraska fumbles or makes a special teams error. They both happened this past Saturday, and now we're looking forward to 83 games.
I think it'd be fun if Nebraska kicked off every season week 0, and we all just got to laugh at them collectively, like every football fan in America has been doing.
It's so funny, dude. It's just so funny. And now that the season's not here yet, but it's right here. I like talking about futures picks. This is my favorite time. I think the best statistical advantage a gambler has is now.
You had a big one last year. Was it Oregon?
Yeah.
To win.
I had 2 years ago. I had a big one on Oregon for the Pac-12, which hit. Last year, I did have Utah to win the Pac. My Pac-12 is riding strong. So I want to talk about that eventually. Like, it's just a fun time. Like, you can do Heisman, you can do Natty. There's just a lot of fun things to gamble on before the season starts.
Yeah. So today we're gonna do conference picks. We're gonna do playoff picks. We're gonna do our favorite week 1 picks. I mean, we're going to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
The amount of money we're going to gamble this weekend is unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. But at the end of the week, I promise you, when our girlfriends ask, our wives ask how we did, we're going to say, John, what are we going to say?
We're going to say, honey, I broke even.
We broke even. So we didn't lose anything, babe.
Never lost.
Okay, we did
I've
not.
Never lost.
We've never lost ever. To recap, so last season we picked 10 games every week. We would pick 5 in college, 5 in the NFL. And at the end of the year, John, your boy Daryl
took me down. You took me down by 10.
72 and 60.
That's really good. If you're if you're a professional gambler,
absolutely.
Amazing
that
record.
That is a fantastic record.
Amazing. Hats off to Daryl.
And Johnny, not terrible.
Not horrible.
62 and 70. That's broke even territory in my book.
I've learned a lot from last year. I'm ready to go, dude. I've read so many articles. I've read so many articles, dude. I'm ready to go.
And just to recap, so Johnny is a huge Pitt Panther, Michigan Wolverine.
I have 2 teams.
Fan.
2 teams. 131 teams. People go, 2 teams? There's 131 teams. I want 2.
And let me tell you, folks.
I want 2.
He cares equally about them both. I've witnessed it. John's Michigan Wolverines made the college playoff last year. They took down Ohio State. They went to the Big Ten championship.
And on the same day, the Pitt Panthers and Kenny Pickett, fake slide, dominated Wake Forest, ACC title.
And John is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and that is where his beloved Kenny Pickett is playing.
I mean, life is so good, Daryl.
Quarterback.
I mean,
next
it's
season
amazing.
in the NFL. It's you just get to carry on with the tradition.
It's great.
Um,
And Daryl cheers for Wisconsin, and I have a super fun fact for you that I'm excited to share with you on the pod.
It's probably going to be depressing.
No, it's really good. The NFL, we'll talk about this more next week, but the NFL did their top 100 players list.
Yep.
And I went through and manually looked up, well, I didn't have to look it up, I knew most of them, where every player went to college. Okay, from 1 for 100. Number 1, Tom Brady, Michigan Wolverines. Number 2, Aaron Donald, Pitt, Michigan Pitt up top.
Wow.
But the first school to have 2 players.
So we had Jonathan Taylor and T.J. Watt.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you were the
Fabulous,
first.
baby.
You were the first school, not Bama, not Georgia,
That's
not
right.
LSU, not Ohio State.
That's right.
The first school to have 2. That's pretty neat. Go Badgers.
There's a chance that was maybe the only 2. Russell's probably on there. J.J. Watt's probably
you
not
got
on
some,
there.
you got some dudes.
We got some
you
names.
got some dudes.
Linemen.
But let's do these conference picks. Last year, I still remember when the week started, when the conference started, that most of the conferences had been experiencing a run. Ohio State had won several years in a row. Okay.
Yep.
That Clemson had won several years in a row. Okay, so we were like, these are Oklahoma had won several years. All 3 of those were snapped. The SEC, which volleys between Bama and Georgia, Bama won again. And then, the Pac-12 was Utah, but that's been, Pac-12 is Pac-12. It's crazy. So let's start out there, out west. My favorite conference to talk about because they're just wild. They're losing USC and UCLA to the Big Ten, but we'll talk about that later.
All right.
Who's winning the Pac-12, Daryl?
Okay. Conference 5 picks. All right. You ready for this? Power 5 picks? All right.
Yeah.
It's Pac-12. This is just from going over like the odds for conference championships. I feel like it's the most you can get
fun.
some value across the board here. All right. So I'm sure you've already looked at the rankings, but Pac-12, there's no clear favorite up top, and there should not be. The favorites are USC plus 210, Utah plus 210, Oregon plus 300, and then UCLA is plus
This is the big 3, right? It's Utah, USC, Oregon.
Yep.
USC is the most fascinating team in college football this year by far.
Yep.
Lincoln Riley comes over from Oklahoma. Caleb Williams came with them. They have this guy, Jordan Addison.
Sorry, John. The transfer portal really did John in this season. He lost his star wide receiver.
Biletnikoff winning, best receiver in the nation, goes to USC. They're not ranked as high as Pitt is right now, but I digress. They also have Travis Dye from Oregon, the running back. They have a all-star offense. Now, they got a good recruiting class. They got some defensive dudes, but if the defense is literally serviceable, if the defense gets off the bus and isn't walking around, they will win. They will win 10 games. Now,
John, last year
we don't know that though.
USC, where are they?
5-7.
5-7.
May 7th is National USC Day. 5-7.
John, I don't know about you. My Pac-12 pick will not be USC.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm going to go repeat champions Utah Utes. Reap for me.
And I'm going with the Ducks of Oregon.
Dan Lanning comes over from Georgia. Bo Nix. You want Bo Nix as your starter quarterback?
Because here's the thing. I didn't want to bet USC because I think they're overhyped. I think their odds are way adjusted just because of the transfers. Yep. I think next year I think they're going to be really good. But this year I think they're a year away yet.
They play in Utah.
And then in Utah I don't.
Yeah.
I don't bet on virgins.
Yeah.
Like
So
this.
Daryl's strict no virgin Mormon policy.
Correct. So we go.
But Utah they're fascinating. We will know everything we need to know about them week 1, which we'll talk about later. They play Florida in the swamp in Florida. So they're loaded. They have a good quarterback. They started the year 1-2 and then put in their boy Cameron Rising at QB and then didn't lose again until they played Ohio State.
That's right.
So
okay, all right. So Johnny, you've got
the Utah Utes, the Fighting Utes,
the D-man.
Oregon
has the Ducks.
I love Oregon. We didn't talk about them. Dan Lanning came over from Georgia. They got Bo Nix from Auburn at QB, but and they have a ton of dudes on D. Mario Cristobal, their coach, previously recruited like crazy. They have NFL talent at every level of the defense, but they were horrible on defense last year.
Terrible.
But again, now they have Dan Lanning coaching them, right? So are they going to have a defense that maybe is so good it doesn't matter that Bo Nix is quarterback? And that Travis Dye transferred at the running back and went to USC? We don't know.
I'm This is definitely the most boring conference. I do not.
The Big 12.
Yes, Pac-12. I don't want to watch. I don't enjoy them. The thing with Oregon is they play Georgia week 1.
I completely disagree. I love the Pac-12.
I do not.
I love them. You just don't like them because it's a psychological thing. It's because if you're watching the Pac-12, you've already lost $400 because they play at night. And why you don't like the Pac-12 is it's 8 p.m. Central, and you're going, God damn it, I lost $400 fucking dollars.
Yep.
And then now I have to get it back on USC, and then USC won't cover, and then you lose $600. That's why the conference is good.
Hey,
I stand
folks,
by it.
for all of you are not aware, John has a degree. He's a therapist, former therapist. So he really just broke me down there, and could not be more accurate.
I mean,
you just identified my trauma,
yeah.
and I don't think you could be any more correct.
The Pac-12 is fun, man. Oregon's come on, it's fun. But yeah, so we'll go. We have our picks. We're gonna lock it in. Daryl, Oregon. I'm saying Utah. I'm big on the Utes. I mean, this is one of those things. Everyone is picking them, which is sometimes dangerous, right?
Yes, it is.
But I really like them. I like
their.
It's like Utah is like this like small school. Like it's like the root for, there's like they're not a brand in the sport yet.
Of course they're not.
But USC is like Lincoln Riley kind of car salesman. Yes, I'm talking from someone who poached Jordan Addison. But USC like has all this infusion of talent elsewhere. But Utah has been like building this car for a while, and I think it's ready to go. I think USC is going to have some defects.
You should have.
I should have stuck with one metaphor there. Yeah.
Or you should just bet on USC and cheer on your boy for one more year.
I will bet on, if I can find Jordan Addison props for receiving, I will bet on every single one. I will get his rookie card signed. I still have his Pitt NIL jersey, which I love, but we got to go on to the Big 12 because I talk about the Pac-12 all day. The Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12.
My least favorite conference. As far as just like, I don't care for these teams, but
they score. You know, I love offense.
But I have one pet team. I went to Manhattan, Kansas for a wedding earlier this year, home of Bill Snyder Family Stadium, and under Bill Snyder Family Stadium, under Bill Snyder statue, it said Bill Snyder statue said, home of the greatest college football turnaround in history. Their former 90-year-old coach is no longer there, but
is he alive?
He is probably alive. Yes, I would know if he was dead. He's alive.
Okay,
I called him yesterday. I'm just gonna get right down to it. I'm jacked up. Kansas State is going to win the Big 12. I have a $70 bet that yields a grand. It's hitting. Kansas State's winning the Big 12. Surprise, sleeper pick. Did you think Baylor was going to win last year? No one did. Oklahoma is going through major transition. Texas is Texas.
Yes, they are.
Kansas State has beaten Oklahoma 2 of the times last 4 years. I like this team. If they stay healthy, they're winning the Big 12. I'm locked into these dudes.
Okay, the odds. So the favorites in the Big 12, it's Oklahoma plus 190, Texas plus 250, Oklahoma State plus 450, Baylor plus 650, Kansas State plus 1200.
Plus 1200.
So if anybody wants to make a little cash,
I'm telling you, put
a little money on it. Put a little
dude.
money on it.
I love this
$10
pick.
a yield. $120.
Deuce Vaughn, the man is 4 foot tall, 3 pounds, an unbelievable running back. He's like literally I could absolutely cuddle him. The man is small. He is their running back all purpose. He's like unbelievable receiver out of the backfield. They also got Taylor Martinez from Nebraska. And
who's terrible.
He's good. He has a shit ton of touchdowns and yards in Nebraska. And what the week 0 game taught me is the Nebraska turnover issues were not his fault. They were the offense,
clearly, yeah.
They were. He scored a fuck ton of touchdowns and some grown man ball. This man is good, and they have the top pass rusher in the conference. They have a great. They're loaded, dude, but they have no depth. They're Kansas State. They're like Utah. They're a small program. They don't have dudes coming off the bench who can play solid snaps for you. So any injury to a major player, they're done. But if they stay healthy, Big 12 title. Who's your pick?
I'm also not going with a favorite.
I like it.
I'm going with Coach Gundy and the Oklahoma State Cowboys, baby.
I was doing this.
I got you.
Cowboys, baby.
Actually, what the hell is a Sooner? But I actually don't know what it is. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right.
I will
Oklahoma
tell you.
State.
I'll tell you off the pod.
The Cowboys have won 10-plus games 7 times in the last since 2010.
Also, Gundy has a mullet and rules.
And they just score.
He's
like
a
crazy.
man. He's 40.
I love the mullet, which I'm all about those kind of players. The receiving core is amazing. I love how they score. This obviously this conference is wide open as well. Texas is not scary at all.
I have zero.
And Oklahoma
zero
State
scare for them.
They played. I think they split the series last year. I'm going with the old Cowboys.
I like that.
What do you
pick.
think, pal?
I like that pick. Baylor, the reigning champs, lost a lot. Oklahoma State played them in that title game. Played them close, if you recall. Oklahoma wasn't even
very
in it.
Close.
And Oklahoma, they just have this is my thing with Kansas State. Oklahoma lost a lot. They got a lot of transfers, new coach. I don't think they're gonna be up and running, Death Star operational this year. I think Texas doesn't have, they've got a quarterback transfer from Ohio State or whatever. They have a great running back.
And they get Arch Manning in next
I'll be
year.
picking different. Yes, they get Arch.
So,
but they're not. They're like no one scares me. I think Kansas State's the sleeper. I like your pick too. I just don't think either. I do not think either Texas or Oklahoma wins the Big 12. I really don't. Next conference, ACC.
ACC. All right, John. Do we think that your Pitt Panthers are going to repeat after all that they lost? The odds do not appear to favor your boys. ACC odds. Let's see. We got
also a $100 bet for Pitt to win the Natty yields $25,000, which I will make in the next hour. I will make that $25,000 payday, but I digress.
Clemson is the heavy favorite in this one.
Sure.
Minus 140. Miami's second plus 500. NC State plus 750. Pittsburgh plus 800. UNC plus 1600.
This race is going to be so fun. It is.
Is it though?
It is, man. Because Clemson, it's like, is Clemson? Have they crested? Are they coming down off of being one of the top 4 teams in the country for the past decade?
Yeah.
Or they're gonna flex their muscle and go 12 and run through everyone again and go 12-0, go back to the playoff.
That's my prediction.
Pundits are predicting them to do that.
Yes.
I saw their quarterback DJ Ungali play last year in person, man. He's starting. I just don't think, unless he made major strides, I just don't see it for them. They have an amazing roster, NFL dudes. They have like 4 NFL guys on the line, 4 out of 4.
I think if they didn't finish as strong as they did at the end of last year, I would be more hesitant. But even last year, they had 3 losses.
Yeah.
They all came.
They went like 10-3, and it was like that. They felt like they went 6-6.
I think they started off like 1-3 or 2-3, something like strange like that.
They lost to Georgia to open They lost to Georgia to open things. They lost to NC State. Lost to Pitt, and that brings me to NC State. They have 17 returning starters. They've been hovering at – this is why I like this race. They've been hovering, dude. They're like right there to break through. But will they? I don't know. They have good odds. They have a great quarterback, Leary. They have some dudes, but they've kind of been a program that has struggled to meet high expectations.
I think that's a tough one to believe in. When's the last time NC State's been good?
And you know what? They have this guy Phillip Rivers, but yeah, they had a guy TJ McClendon running back, but no, they have not really traditionally done well. But it's hard. But Clemson used to be that, 15 years ago.
True.
But
I like that. That's a good point, buddy.
But thank you. But they will they make the leap? And then there's my boys Pitt, who is like obviously dealing with the loss of one of the best specialty players in the country, wide receivers. I mean, so I don't know, man. I think it's so hot with my Pitt colored glasses. I think that we absolutely could win it. We'll know a lot more in 2 weeks when we play Tennessee and have played West Virginia and Tennessee to start the year. I think we win the Coastal. I think I'm going to see Miami at Pitt November 22nd in Miami. I think Pitt wins the Coastal and then loses a heartbreaker to Clemson in the title game. Clemson.
Okay. So we got NC State, we got Clemson. Okay. You haven't picked a favorite yet. That seems like trouble, John. I
didn't pick NC State.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I'm picking Clemson.
Oh.
I just like that team this year.
Okay.
But they opened with East Carolina, which I read the last 2 times NC State has played East Carolina on the road, which they're going on the road, and they lost. So interesting. They're 11-point favorites. Look at that game. SEC.
SEC, buddy.
NFL Junior.
The big one.
NFL Junior.
Soon, we're down to our final 2 conferences, and it's going to be the final 2 conferences in college football.
Big money
all combined, and that is just
the big
AFC
money
and
leagues.
the NFC. That is going to happen. It's going to end up just being a Big Ten and SEC, but that's still a couple years away.
And then
but
it'll be all the other
fast
three will
approaching. Just
combine.
prepare.
Yeah, it'll be Big Ten, SEC, and then the Pac-12, Big 12, ACC will combine into the best of those dudes will go, and then it'll be everyone else. But I mean, this is a reminder to enjoy this season. This is the last semblance of normalcy.
Completely agree.
Enjoy this year. It's going to be it's like this is the last time. I love these conferences and how they have distinct personalities, and they're all like characters in a sitcom that bicker. It's like I love their personalities, and I hate that we're losing that with the early alignment.
Big Ten will have USC and UCLA in it next year, and that is just
and their fucking field hockey teams need to take a bus to Michigan.
Wild.
I mean, that sucks. That sucks for them.
That is.
That's not fair.
Wow.
Well,
screw them. All right, SEC. John, the two heavy favorites, Bama, Georgia. They're both about minus 120, so it's anybody's.
I mean, let's save everyone's time. There in the East. Oh, what is Florida? Florida, new coach.
Just
boo.
Just
Tennessee.
toast.
Oh, Tennessee might be. Tennessee's getting freaking jacked up to be maybe 9-3.
Can never believe in Tennessee. Their odds are plus 4,000 by the way.
The SEC East is like it's absolutely Georgia, unless barring an earthquake in Athens, Georgia, swallows up the football complex. They will be winning that side of the division. I mean, it just is what it is. And in the West, I mean, it's Bama, man. It's Georgia, Bama. It's death taxes and Georgia, Bama SEC title game.
It's going to happen. I feel like that is the easiest. We should probably just bet on them both to win their side, and that's easy money, folks. Do you guys want easy money?
Easy money?
So you just have to bet. Who do you think is going to win the SEC championship game? And I'm going Bama.
Yeah. They're so loaded. They just everything that happens in college football when there's changes. Transfer portal. Oh, okay. So they got Gibbs, the running back from Georgia Tech, who's an absolute man. He is now going to be just running all over the place. They got Burton, Georgia's best wide receiver, went to Alabama. Darryl. Mm-hmm. They're loaded. The offensive line is slightly suspect. I don't know that kid. I love to know if his, what is going on with him, but wins a natty, beats Bama. Funny.
It's like I'll go in with them.
If he wins a natty with Bama, then obviously he's a genius
with two different teams. That
but
doesn't
I feel like there might be obviously he's not like loving the wide receiver room, but maybe somebody put a whoopee cushion in his chair at a team meeting.
Or he got a big NIL deal from Alabama, which is possible, folks.
So we just saved some time, but now we're going down to the conference that I would say nearest and dearest to our hearts.
It sure is.
What I grew up watching as a pup.
The Big Ten Championship. John, here's I think I would imagine that we are both picking the same champion, but maybe not.
Yeah, we are. We're both picking Michigan.
I'm taking Ohio State. I think that is going to be.
Ohio State has one of these offenses that keeps you up at night if you don't like Ohio State. They have three top 10 picks. Their quarterback, Stroud. Paris,
favorite for the Heisman.
Paris Johnson Jr., the offensive lineman, whose father coaches at Pitt. Go to Pitt! I'll never forget that. Picks Ohio State. Recruiting. Oh, this is goes to Ohio State.
Yep.
And then the dude, Jackson, I can't pronounce his name properly, so I won't do him, the wide receiver.
Very smart.
I won't do him any disservice, but he's amazing. And then they have this guy Henderson, the running back, who did on this pod. I said before the year started, well, if you follow the game, wasn't crazy to say he was gonna have a great year. Had a great year. Now he's a sophomore. He's gonna go off. Now, Darryl, their defense, not great last year.
Nope.
They brought in Oklahoma State's defensive coordinator and his best safety on the on the Cowboys. Are they fixed? That will tell.
Yes.
That's if they again, just like USC, if they get off the bus. Make a couple tackles.
Okay, here's
12-0.
All right, here's the question, John. How afraid are you to play Ohio State as a Michigan fan this year?
For the first time in my life, I'm not that afraid. It feels like the monkey's off the back, okay? And these kids, everyone on Michigan, besides the freshmen, everyone is, and the transfers, has beaten them. And I feel like the mental burden is off. And we got some dudes, too. My guy.
John, I don't know what that spread is, obviously, because it's
14.
not for another.
It's 14.
It's 14?
Mhm.
It should be higher.
And
I'm taking
and
Ohio State
take
right now. I might
Michigan
just do it
plus
right
14. Now, Michigan is fascinating because they have just unveiled a very unique quarterback competition. Our 5-star recruit, he's just now a sophomore, JJ, will start game 2. Our incumbent, Cade, will start game 1. And so we'll each
Why
start
are they
a game
doing that, John?
because we have 2 cupcakes. And they're like, why not give him a fair shot? I would say it's the transfer portal is
neat.
looming.
I like this.
And they go, hey, you want to? JJ's going, you never give me a shot. Well, we go, here's a fucking shot.
Yep.
But here's the issue. And Harbaugh called it biblical. They go, this is a biblical thing. I don't understand that. But
good offseason for your coach, huh?
Oh my god.
For all you
How
abortion
dare you.
fans out there.
Oh my god.
They love Harbaugh now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He is a weirdo, but
Yep.
he won me a Big Ten title, so leave him alone. The last skill position Michigan had drafted is Braylon Edwards in like 20 years ago. How sad is that?
That's very sad.
But I am going Ohio State
As you should.
because this year I'm going head over heart.
Which is new for you.
But Michigan it would not shock me if they beat them in Columbus. They have a good team. They have an unbelievable offense too, and we have our defense. I'm not worried, man. We have 2 new coordinators on each side of the ball. I don't give a fuck. We have dudes everywhere. The Michigan dudes.
I wish we were playing this year. We are not. No, Wisconsin and Michigan are not playing
Stressful
this year.
to play the Badgers.
I actually think when I'm talking Badgers, I think Graham Mertz may have broken me.
Yeah.
It's the first year I'm going into it thinking that they're going to be bad.
Who wins the Big Ten West?
Well,
obviously, the East is going to win. The West has never won. And for those of you unfamiliar, the West, the favorites this year in no particular order are Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Nebraska already lost. They're already 0-1 before week 1.
I mean, Wisconsin is Graham Mertz completely broke me. So I thought, I'm like, all right, we finally have a quarterback. We have
highly touted.
We have another great offensive line, another great running back. We're gonna have a Jim Leonard led defense again. So it's everything that I always assume Wisconsin's gonna be, and this quarterback is bad. And I hate saying it. I think he's a bad quarterback, and I'm afraid that they're gonna get beat to Iowa. I went to.
You seem beaten down, Derek.
I am because one. Let me just say I went to the Minnesota-Wisconsin game in Minneapolis last year. Winner goes to the Big Ten championship. Wisconsin doesn't lose to Minnesota. We beat them every year for 20 fucking years. I go to the game. Minnesota fans were storming the field that day, and I had to just sit there alone in the crowd. My friends ran on the field. I had to just sit there.
Also,
and watch
it has to be said to any of our listeners that when I first met Daryl, I had bought season tickets for Northwestern to resell them because they played Michigan, Notre Dame.
And season tickets to Northwestern are what, $15?
They were, yeah. I paid a nickel. They had a great season, and they had a great home slate, so I bought them to sell them because more money to gamble. And I sold Daryl the tickets to Northwestern, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, huge favorite, loses on the road to Northwestern in front of a raucous crowd of 17 people, including Daryl. And Daryl goes, I'm never going to that stadium again. And it's amazing our friendship has survived that.
I hate that stadium.
Can't believe I charged you for those tickets.
That's all you hear if you go to a Northwestern Wildcats game is the roar of that stupid tiger.
He's a Wildcat, buddy.
I call it tiger. Wisconsin does play at Northwestern this year, John. And I will probably attend and get my heart broken one more time.
I went to one Michigan Northwestern game there, and it was a fucking dogfight that Michigan pulled out in the 4th, but it was hell the whole time, and I was had no fun. All right, so those are our conference picks.
Okay, just to recap.
Run through yours. I'll run through mine.
Okay, I've got Oregon, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State.
Yeah. I have the Utah Utes, the Kansas State Wildcats winning the Big 12, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State. Now, of those, there's going to be a surprise. And the ACC, SEC, Big Ten, there's gonna be something. Probably not the SEC, but there's going to be something. We'll see. Hopefully.
I mean, it's not like anyone could have ever predicted Cincinnati last year.
Or Michigan or
right?
Pitt.
Like,
Are you kidding me?
Pretty wild. But I do think that last year was an anomaly compared to any other year. So you almost have to wash that away from
regression
your memory
to the
because
mean,
you have to go back.
Yeah,
And it's
a good point.
It just it's very difficult to even have that in your mind that like the Cincinnati thing's not happening again. And because they got housed.
Well, dude, if you look, here's what I say to that.
They're not going to.
I disagree.
The voters don't want them.
I disagree. If you look at who has played Alabama round 1, they fared better than Washington, Michigan State, Notre Dame 7 times, Oklahoma.
Iowa.
They fared better than.
Yeah, maybe.
No, they lost to Michigan State in the Big Ten title, so they didn't get to go.
Good.
But they were 12-0. So they fared better than most of the Power 5 teams that have played Bama. And so I say, Nate, it's just hard. What's hard is to get a schedule together. It was perfect. Notre Dame lost to them at home and then won out.
Yep.
I mean, it was just it's almost like if you need to beat Notre Dame specifically. And then also they beat somebody else. Like, it just, but
that helped.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be extremely hard for that to happen again. But they did better than Michigan did against Georgia. That's a fucking sure. All
right, John, do you want to do your playoff picks?
Yes, I do.
Before we get to week 1 slate of games?
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to be just for fun. Kansas State's going to win the Big 12. It's going to be a shit show. I'm going to say Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. How about that? Michigan goes 11-1, doesn't get to the Big Ten title game. It's a fucking crazy year. We have 2 SEC, 2 Big Ten as those conferences assert their dominance as we head into realignment.
John, I love that.
Just for fun.
That's really fun of you.
Just for fun. I'm having fun.
So you have Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, and Bama?
Mm-hmm. A double rematch playoff.
Wow.
Double rematch.
I love that.
It's so
I would
fun.
love if that happened.
How sick would that be?
That'd be incredible. I actually love this. No chance it's going to happen, but great.
Absolutely no chance it's going to happen. And again, Pitt, Natty, is a $100 is $25,000 bet. And God, I'm going to place that $100 bet because how fun would that be if even if they went 9-0 and I'm just starting to count the money.
Okay, John. I've got Bama, Ohio State.
You seem suspect. He's suspect.
Notre Dame and Oregon.
Daryl.
Thoughts, concerns, any questions?
Notre Dame is going to lose by 100. We'll talk about this. The Notre Dame pick to me is, it's smart because how the game is played, and they could lose to Ohio State if they keep it relative. If they lose by even 14-17, they and win out. They will be in, and the committee loves Notre Dame. The world loves Notre Dame. They love him or love to hate him.
I'm doing it.
And you said Oregon?
Yeah.
The 2 teams that are gonna get clapped week 1? You're saying are gonna go bounce back and go. I love
a week 1 loss.
Oh,
now
we're talking.
Because it doesn't matter.
That's a very good theory.
And
that's fun. You're fun.
And
You're
a
fun
week
for that.
and a week 1 win. Like let's just say
means nothing.
No. Like let's just say Oregon or Notre Dame knocks off. So
Either of those teams, then you're looking at genius level.
You're just setting yourself up to really run the table because Notre Dame, other than, they play Clemson, but they play Clemson at home. They have at Ohio State right away, week 1, and then after that they should win until they play Clemson. So they could be 7-1.
I will say
at home.
This is why you're not insane. The FPI. College Football Power Index, developed by Bill Connelly at ESPN, has them, which he incorporates recruiting, recent success, some other factors, is Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan. So we've all picked from the top 6, but then my guy has Oregon, who is, I am still scrolling.
All right.
I'm still scrolling. I'm still, okay. So they're in like the 20s.
Perfect.
They're 22nd.
You know why? Because of that week 1 matchup.
And you know who is ahead of them is Pitt Panthers at 19, $25,000.
Here's the thing, John. My sleeper picks were Notre Dame and Oregon, and I should have just put Clemson in there, but I couldn't determine between the 2 sleeper picks that I had, so I just added them both in there.
I like that.
If I even get one of them in there,
I don't think Clemson.
That's pretty cool.
I do not think Clemson is. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a cheat code, to be fair. I cheated. Do I think they're both going to get in? No. But if one of them does, you'll be like, Daryl called it. Thoughts on my little cheating strategy?
I think that's smart. I don't think Clemson's getting in. I'm very close to changing my mind and making Pitt the ACC.
No, don't do it, John.
But I won't.
You'll be happy either way.
Exactly.
Okay, you're not gonna do this. Okay.
Let's pick these games. We got 5 big games. Now we can talk about the games in individuality. We talk about the landscape. We talk about the natty, the playoff, the conferences. Who's winning the first batch of
John,
big games?
Okay,
let's talk about it.
Obviously, this entire week there's games starting on Thursday, including your Pitt Panthers
Backyard
in
brawl,
Virginia, which is gonna be an incredible game.
70 miles separate Pittsburgh and Morgantown, the closest rivalry in the sport. Let's
go. It's a really fun Thursday night. But when Saturday rolls around, John, can we set the stage here a little bit for our audience? Where are we going to be on Saturday?
So I just bought 76 Topo Chico hard seltzers, strawberry guava glass bottle, the best drink in the world, not even close.
It is delicious.
It is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I'm having a college football viewing party, if you will, from 11 a.m. till literally probably 2 a.m., maybe, whatever.
Right.
To question mark, if you
Correct.
will. And I'm going to slam about 30 with my guy, Daryl.
That's right.
I have people flying in from New York City, from Allentown, Pennsylvania, where I'm from Florida. I have my wife's mom and stepdad are coming. He is a huge Miami Hurricanes fan.
We've got a special guy coming down from Wisconsin.
We got a
spend the weekend
special
with
guy,
us.
Bo.
We'll be watching some college football with us all day.
Bo's got a huge hammer on him.
Just so you know, the over-under on Miller Lite's drank by me is set at 28.5.
I will be counting. My friend Shane is literally traveling from Allentown to drink 30 with you to see if he can keep up.
And I plan on getting to 30.
Yes, you will.
So I think that 28.5 is there only because it appears that my girlfriend is making an appearance, and that doesn't mean I'm going to slow down.
You took off 2.5.
So I'm thinking there has to play a factor if she decides to get maybe she gets too drunk and I have to leave or something. She's the extra sprinkle. This is like a road game.
Yeah. God, you're
if
so
it's just
funny.
me,
road game.
If it's me, I get an extra.
It's raining.
It's 31.5.
26.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a snow game for me.
Last year, I peed the bed. Last year, I had 30. I had like 20. No, I'm kidding. 30. I'm crazy. Excuse me. I thought it was Daryl. I had 15 White Claws, a couple seltzers, and I absolutely just. And I woke up, and my lovely wife goes, I think you peed the bed. And then I'm looking around and I go, no, I'm just sweating. I just sweated a lot. And then she looks, she goes, nah, you peed the bed. She's like, nah, you peed the bed.
I'm so sorry.
But
John.
it was only on, she goes, you're so courteous. It was only on my side. It was just my side.
That's nice. She thinks you're courteous. Like you actually knew, like you had planned that one out.
And get daddy a diaper because he's doing it again. I'm doing it again.
Well, I can't wait, John.
Let's pick these games,
let's
Daryl.
go. Let's roll through these quick. We're gonna pick the 5 best games of the week, and there's a lot of incredible games.
And then for fun off air, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna make both of us pick all 83 games of the opening slate, and then we're gonna read it. We're gonna read it next week.
And
how do we do
was?
out of 83? And against the spread, some of these games. We're going to pick, hopefully right after this, we're just going to go through AK3. But for now, here it is, people. Week 1!
Top 5 games, baby. Ow! All right, top 5. Game 1. The big one.
The big one. I think this is better than Notre Dame, Ohio State. I just think the fact that Oregon's head coach was Georgia.
Well, how about we tell the audience what the game is? It's Oregon versus Georgia.
I mean, the
spread is 17.
Fine.
Would you like them to know the game?
Oregon, Georgia. Oregon's coach used to be Georgia's defensive coordinator a couple months ago, and he won a natty there, and now he brings his talents to Eugene, Oregon, Nike University. I think this is so fucking hard of a game to pick because I think Georgia's going to be absolutely rolling. I just can't see Oregon win, even really getting close, but like you lose by 16. Let's say you lose 32-16 or something. You cover. You're right. So that's a lot.
It's what it's my favorite thing.
Georgia had 5 first-round defenders. Excuse me. What did I say? What?
5 in the first round of the draft. It's truly incredible.
They had 5 in the first round. 5 in the first round. That's half of their defense. NFL team said, "You first, please."
And this game is being played in Georgia. Just a heads up.
I think it's
but it's like neutral but yeah. Like it's at the Mercedes-Benz, so it's in Atlanta.
I am going to take Oregon at plus 17 because I think that first week last year, Georgia played Clemson, and that game was like 9-3. I don't think Georgia is up an operational Death Star level by week 1.
Correct.
I think that Oregon gets some type of freebie. Maybe they get a pick 6. I don't know. I just think they'll cover because it's week 1. I think if this game was played in November, it would be 45-14. But it's not. It's played week 1.
Well, John, it appears that you and I are going to be cheering together.
Finally.
I mean, I have to. I mean, I can't.
Sometimes I place bets on both sides,
which I hate. I have some problems with John. Not many. That's one of them.
Yeah.
He has way too many bets on a game, and I never know what he's cheering for. I like to just bet on one, maybe sprinkle in some over under. I don't. It's all or nothing, baby.
Yeah.
I'm crying or I'm happy. All right, we're both going Oregon. We're taking the points. Boy, are we about to get whooped. All right.
This next game.
Couple former playoff.
I really
Cincinnati
like this game,
Arkansas.
man. This is like a are y'all it's like coming or going? Is Arkansas with KJ Jefferson are y'all who led the SEC in rushing last year had an amazing, they're like 5-0 top 8. They faded a bit. They have a good team. Cincy playoff undefeated. What direction you guys coming or going? You got to be good. You got to be. You going to make a run? Are you gonna, is Arkansas going to go back to mediocrity? Is Cincy going to, if they win this, if Cincy wins this game, they might go 12-0.
Let's go back again.
Do they go back? I mean, do they have? It's just fascinating. For that, I will absolutely. I love taking points. Give me Cincy +6. Give me them +6. Dude. I mean, I'm so excited for this game. Give me Cincy +6, and they deserve it for scheduling such a tough game.
I'm going the Razorbacks. I believe in the hangover. I think it's going to happen because you're right. Like, they take this game, there's a possibility that they run the table after that.
Why not?
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think the lightning strikes twice. I'm going with Arkansas. Just even though they are just notorious. I mean, between Arkansas and like Tennessee, is there a more disappointing college football program in the country? They're just they always break everyone's hearts.
Texas is my number one
Texas
disappointment school, but yeah,
maybe Nebraska, but they haven't been good for 20 years. But
yeah,
I'm going Arkansas. I hate this pick so much. I'm definitely gonna lose, but at least one of us is gonna win this. What do you think?
I think that we will somehow both lose. I think that will happen. That's my prediction.
Game 3. Florida.
Oh, yes. I love this game.
Takes on the Utes. The Utes are favored by 3. Just to confirm, this game is being played.
It's in the Swamp. I love it. It's in the Swamp, 100%. It's in the Swamp. Is my first favorite. I'm taking Utah -3. I'm riding the Utes. Florida, it's like, this is such a... Florida is not ranked. They're coming off a bad year. They have a new coach. They're like... I mean, I just don't think... that I just, they're like, oh, it's the SEC road. Sure. Utah's winning this game. This is a game for me where it's like, I'm putting a lot of money on Utah. Let's just say that. I'm putting a lot of money on the Utes.
I'm going to take the Utes as well.
Utah Utes over Florida.
But I think that Florida, this spread it's 3. This is clearly because obviously it's in Florida, but it's a night game. It's going to be raucous in there. That being said, I'm going Utah, but I do think it's going to be one of those like... Wow.
The first time you've ever agreed with me on Utah.
I hate this. Yeah, I don't like to... These versions will lose.
Anthony Richardson, fun fact.
I'm already mad about this.
I have to say this. Anthony Richardson, their quarterback, was great potential, but is not quite yet. He is really, really, good athlete, really, good quarterback, but not there yet. His nickname was AR-15. And then over the offseason, he came out and he's like, after me and my family, like a post, like, those posts where it's like the text and then the big signature. It's like, me and my family have talked. I don't think AR-15 is a good nickname for me moving forward. I'm abandoning the AR-15 nickname.
Did he just win the gun debate? That's going to stop people from shooting.
Him just saying I'm not going as AR-15, I do obviously think that it's admirable, but like, it's just so funny to be like, I'm no longer AR-15.
That is, maybe just like don't announce it.
It's maybe so funny.
Just maybe stop.
Just like, shh. Every time someone says AR-15, like, hey, shh. Also, I'm going to be calling him AR-15 all day. So I apologize, Anthony.
Unfortunately, it might get more traction.
Yeah.
This next game is going to be epic. This is going to be a night game in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State takes on Notre Dame.
Two fan bases that are some of the biggest in the sport.
That's going to be a hot ticket. The spread is 17.5.
Ohio State is, as we said, loaded. Notre Dame's head coach Marcus Freeman has one of the top recruiting classes right now. It's like for this next, not this year, but upcoming. He's like really doing his thing. He's a former Ohio State linebacker. They are thin. One of their best offensive linemen is questionable. They're thin at wide receiver. They're just. I mean, this is. I've had 2 dogs and 2 what. Now I'm taking 2 faves. Now I'm taking Ohio State. I hate to say it, minus 17.5. I don't think this game will be close in the second quarter.
Wow.
I think this game will be over with like 6 minutes to play in the first half.
I'm going to take Notre Dame because once again I took them to go to the playoffs, so I have to eat my words and I have to bet on the people that I just cheered on. And just by looking in my eyes, I regret everything that I did.
I mean, I'm going to be having to cheer for Ohio State in my own home.
That's tough.
I know, but I like money.
John, what do you think the cheapest ticket is for that game?
$600? No idea.
$450. Bad seat.
Bad. That's
gonna be a hot.
Seat.
That's a hot one.
Yeah.
Okay, game 5, our last pick of the week. Florida State versus LSU. LSU
in the Are We Back Yet Bowl. LSU just a couple years removed from a title, but it seems like 30 years ago.
It does.
It doesn't it? And they have Brian Kelly moved over from Notre Dame. They have some transfer portal dudes. They have 2 quarterbacks that Brian Kelly said he said literally on his pen, it's a secret. He said I'm keeping it a secret.
That's how you know. That's too bad.
It's
too bad quarterbacks.
It's a secret.
It's not.
It's a secret.
Yeah, but he's got an accent now.
Yeah,
he's got the southern drawl now.
He's like. If you follow this sport and you saw this man move to Louisiana and fake a southern accent, you just have to love it.
He went from Notre Dame, and then immediately a week later,
no sport
LSU,
is like college football.
There's
nothing like this. There's nothing like it, man.
It's perfect.
God damn it, I love it. Florida State. Mike Norvell is their coach. He's been there for a couple years. He's came over from Memphis. He's kind of struggled. Florida State's kind of in shambles. In the Are We Back Yet Bowl, I'm taking LSU minus 3.
Me too, buddy.
Good luck playing LSU. In a night game. I don't care if they're playing
That's
it in a high school stadium.
I feel the exact same way.
Good luck to you.
Yep. You can't go. I'm sorry, Florida State. You're just not gonna to win with that beautiful stadium at night. It's gonna be no thanks.
Nope.
All right. So, those are our top 5 picks for this week. We'll post all of our picks on our Twitter account and our Instagram. But John, do you have any big upsets that we should be looking for this weekend? That's
upset watch. This is kind of just really crazy, but I'm feeling it. The Iowa Hawkeyes play an FCS team at 11 a.m. They're called the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Those Jackrabbits are ranked number 2 in the preseason poll of FCS. They're at the top of that division. Iowa, is a great team. They have a Jack Campbell, a linebacker. They have a lot of dudes, but have struggled on offense. South Dakota State isn't fucking around. These are good. These are good football players. They have a good coach. They are. I'm absolutely betting on them to cover. And I think that it's a possibility that they knock off Iowa game 1.
Is that a
South Dakota State FCS cover? And let's just see what the money line is. What's so funny is it's very sometimes hard to find.
They probably won't be one.
Odds for that, but I
can find some. Okay, so Iowa right now, nope, still nothing posted yet.
Yeah, I looked.
They just
before.
won't be shit. That's fine. For upset picks, I'm truly think I'm gonna go with Notre Dame winning opening.
That'd
night.
be fucking nice.
I'm doing it.
I would pay $300 to watch Notre Dame beat Ohio State week 1 and watch the season completely
just because
change.
Everyone then will get off of Ohio State and it'll change the complete complexion.
It would change the whole season. Would be different in 1 second.
Something
the season
happens
would change.
every year.
You never know, man.
Every year, first week, a huge favorite goes down. So I'm doing it.
I absolutely love that.
I'm doing it, John.
I love it. I told Daryl this before the pod started a couple weeks ago. The rankings for these teams that FBI keep bringing up that I love have, I said Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, and then it's those three, and then there's such a big gap. The difference between those three and then the fourth team is the same difference between the fourth team and the 23rd team. Those three are so much better than everyone else, but injuries happen, crazy things happen. This is why the sport is amazing. Hopefully this year has the feel where it's going to be Ohio State, Georgia, Bama collision course, and everyone else is going to look kind of like not as good. So I hope that is not the case. I hope we don't set it to autopilot. I hope I don't look at you in December and go, yeah, this is what we thought.
Exactly what it is.
I hope.
That's exactly.
I don't want
that either.
I want something, and I really hope the Kansas State Wildcats make me look like a goddamn genius, because I think that they're going to win the Big 12.
I got to be all in on the Ducks.
I love the Ducks.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. It's just that's gonna be my squad this year. John, I'm really looking forward to this college football season. We're
getting rocking and rolling.
I feel like I've never been more excited for a college football season.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And it's not even and that's me being not excited about Wisconsin. That's just in general, college football, NFL. I think it's going to be incredible.
Do you think it's because we know conference realignment is coming and like this is never going to be like this again?
It's part of it.
It does feel like I can't wait. I'm coming off a Michigan Pitt.
Yeah, you did. You're coming off a major high.
And I'm like, which I didn't expect. And now I'm like terrified to expect anything from these. Like,
that's what it is.
I will say Michigan was minus 28 against Colorado State week 1, and I got in on that. Now they're minus 33.5 in just a week. It shifted. So thank God I got in there. And real quick before we sign off, you can do a prop bet on FanDuel where you get Ohio State, Georgia, or Bama, all three of them to win the title. Any of them can win. Minus 340, or anyone else plus 270.
Yep.
Gun to my head, put your entire life on the Ohio State, Georgia, Bama minus 340. Of
course. But also, John, what was the odds that you bet on Alabama money line last year?
So,
what were those odds?
So it was Bama. It was a Bama Georgia parlay, which hit every single week of the regular season except 1 week because they went a combined 24-1. 23-1. I bet $600 on Georgia and Alabama money line, and it was the week that I'd done it 2 weeks before. Hit with won like $200-$300 each week. I was like, I'm a genius. I figured out gambling. I'm quitting my job. And then the third week they played Texas A&M. I had the opportunity to pull my money out in the fourth quarter to make a couple hundred. I was like, nope. Alabama's got this. Lost a quick $600. I also bet. I put $2,000 in the Bucks to beat the Bulls game 1, and then they were in the fourth quarter 1-point game, and I was at work, and I was very rude to my coworkers and people who came in that day.
John, do you want to just before we head out? There was only one. We were going to head up to the Milwaukee Bucks 76ers game in Milwaukee, and we decided to go in the middle of the worst blizzard Chicago had that year.
And known friend of the pod, Tucker Brookshire.
And we got about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way to Milwaukee, and we realized we couldn't drive any further.
And we knew a minute into the drive, but I was like, nope, stubborn male idiocy.
We were going to go.
Idiots.
But it turns out there was a casino pretty nearby. So we're like, why don't we just not go to the game?
Wait out the storm into the casino.
We'll just go to the casino. Yeah. We'll just gamble on all the games there. John, do you want to just let them know how one of your parlays ended?
So there's two. I had two parlays. The first was in Michigan, Iowa, and I bet on Michigan to cover, and Iowa threw up a last-second shot, and then it got rebounded by Iowa, and then with 0.1 seconds left, Michigan fouled, and Iowa made 2 free throws to cover. That was the first one. And the last one, which is this never happens. Daryl's never laughed harder in his life. I had a parlay, and I kept on saying, I finally had a parlay. And it was in NHL. I had done a couple hockey games.
An NHL
under. I bet on an NHL under. And I was like, look, and it was like 6.5. And then when I bet it was like 1-1. I was like, what's going on? And then it was fine. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to win a couple $100. Like, cool. And then there's a fucking buzzer-beating goal to win the game. It was a buzzer beater in hockey. He fucking slap-shotted like a 30-foot slap-shot buzzer beater to win. But I'll never. What's going on with me?
You want to talk about pure sadness.
You've never laughed harder.
But I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. That loss was that felt more painful than me betting on Hillary Clinton to win the 2016 election.
So funny.
Those are some bad beats, buddy.
Those are what we call the bad beats.
All right. Well, this is going to be an amazing year.
We're excited.
We got so much shit going on this whole we're pumped. This is just week 1. We're getting our legs back. New studio. I'm pumped, John, and we're gonna drink a lot. We're gonna have a lot of stories coming up next week.
I can't wait to tell you guys about how many
NFL
beers
preview.
Daryl drank. Can't wait.
And it's gonna be
tune in to see if I peed the bed.
Probably dangerous. Yeah. Sorry, don't try to keep up with us. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Let's see how much money we lose.
John, I love you.
And no matter what, when your girl asks you,
you broke even.
You broke
baby.
even, baby.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
When you pawn your wedding ring and your head is up your ass.